Hey everybody, we here, we in this thing, What y'all out there doing, Facebook land? This is Tina here, checking in. We'll give people time to come on in and check it out for a few minutes before we get started. Let me see. We'll get a few people in here. Hi, Michael. How are you? Hey, Tanisha, girl. How you doing, girl? Will, how are you, sir? Nice to meet you guys. Give people a minute to go ahead and give them a quick second to get in, and I'll get started with our introduction and all that I got for y'all. Some of y'all know me personally, so I don't need to introduce myself, but some of y'all don't. Hey, LaShawna. Hey, girl. Hey, cousin. Hey, Nicole. How you doing? Miss Sandy, how you doing, love? Lee, nice to see you, Lee. So, I may not be able to get to everybody individually, but I'll do my best. I'll do my absolute best for those that I can speak to and say hey to. Hey, girl. Hey, Krista. What's up? I have not seen you, girl, since I was a little girl. I used to look up to you. Oh my God, I wanted to be just like you. I don't know if you knew that, but you know now. So it is what it is. So everybody, let's go ahead and get started. I wanted to introduce myself to some of you guys that don't know me, and kind of talk a little bit about the podcast. Thank you again so much for those that came and subscribed and shared the link. I appreciate it. So Flawed and Free is now live. We are live streaming on many platforms. So we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, whatever your favorite streaming platform is, you'll be able to find me there. So we launched on Friday, and every other week we're going to start downloading podcasts every Wednesday. Hey, Mina, what's up, Kenya? That's my girl from the H-Town. Yes, sis, yes, that's what's up. I'm glad y'all came. So we just started talking a little bit about Flawed and Free. So I'm so excited about it. Man, we got some great content, great guests that are coming. And we're going to be putting out some good stuff for you guys to listen to. So Flawed and Free is a podcast that I will kind of be working like a spiritual midwife. And so we're wanting to help people birth their purpose and their promise into the world. And we want to meet people in the space that they're in. And we want to help people move to the next level of their lives, you know? So, and the way that we're going to do that is through transparency, transition, and full transformation, because the ultimate goal is life application, right? So that's what we're shooting for with this podcast. It definitely is biblically based. Hey, Jaretta. Hey, Mina, Michael, Erica. Hey, how you doing? So it's biblically based, of course, but it's real. It's a real podcast. It's outside of the rigidity of religion. So it's outside of the brick and mortar of a church. And again, like I said, we're meeting people right where they are. And so there's a lot of topics we'll be covering about relationships, finances, health and wellness, mental health, and a number of things. So I'm really looking forward to it. So as you know, you guys might not know this, but I am your number one, do not forget it, hope dealer. You got that? So I'm dealing hope in these streets. You understand what I'm saying? So I need y'all to catch what I'm putting down. So in this podcast, there's going to be a couple of giveaways. And in these giveaways, I'm going to say, knock, knock, where the cash at, right? Basically, that means open up the door, give me what you got. You got to give me something in order to give you something. So when I say knock, knock, bang, bang, where the cash at, I'm really saying knock, knock, bang, bang, where the cash at. So what I want you guys to do is to engage with me, and I want you to quickly put your Cash App name into the comment section, but it has to be in exchange for whatever question that I'm asking. So there's some of you that have just joined, so I'm just repeating what we'll be doing throughout the episode, and it's a Cash App giveaway. And when I say knock, knock, bang, bang, where the Cash App, I need you to put your Cash App in the comment section with the answer to the question. So whoever answers the question first and correctly will get a Cash App from me. Okay? So let's move forward. So tonight's episode, or what? Well, no, it's not the episode. This isn't an actual podcast tonight. This is just us chatting, getting to know one another, and talking about a few topics. So my first download for an introduction for the podcast is called Everybody's Got a Title, but What is Your Name? So I go through a couple of things about names and renaming and how you come up with a name and how I came up with Flawed and Free. And so it's just a basic introduction, just explaining about the podcast and what we're about and the platform in which I'm using to kind of meet people in the place in which they are. So today I was just kind of thinking for the live stream, for those to kind of get to know me and see what, get to know you guys. What could we kind of talk about today? One of the things I decided to talk about was name changes. Name changes when you get married and in divorce. So I am a divorced woman. My last name is Jaliba, right? So a lot of people look at my name and they're like, where'd that come from? So I was married. I actually kept my married name, not necessarily because I wanted to, but from an administrative side, it was just too much to do. I was kind of divorcing in my final semester of my master's program. So for those of you that don't know, I am a medical provider, and I'm a nurse practitioner. I'm a family nurse practitioner, but I've been a nurse for 18 years, about 18 years now, 18 and counting. So I call myself a nurse plus. So a nurse plus is somebody that has nurse capabilities plus a little bit more. So I was finishing up my master's program as a nurse practitioner, and I didn't want to deal with I was moving out of state. I didn't want to deal with all the name changing, with the license, with the passport, with the, my degree, and getting all that done, because I was literally in the last, 10 weeks, 8 weeks, I don't remember how many weeks it was of my final semester. So I just didn't want to deal with the paperwork, so I kept my name. Plus, I'm going to get me a new name because God going to bless me with the husband he's prepared me for. So, it just didn't make sense for me monetarily, financially, or any other way to go back to my maiden name, which is Johnson. Real simple. And then get married and go through all that name changing again. So we waiting. Y'all pray for me. Y'all pray for us, sisters. So I just want to know, some of you, now I know a lot of people a lot of women especially, that hyphenate their name, right? That hyphenate their name. They don't want to give up their name. They want to hold on to their original name and then take on their married name. But the question is, not that you're releasing ownership, but do you really fully commit? Do you really, the question is, and you guys feel free to make a comment in the comment section. Do you really, come out of your singleness into your married life when you are using both names? Comment and tell me what your thoughts are on that. Me personally, since we talking, my opinion is you give up the name. Okay, yeah, you give up the name. You give up the name. You take on your husband's name. and you give up your names. Now, some women feel that they don't want to lose their independence. Some people feel like, or maybe they've been married before, and they just feel like, well, I still want to keep some of who I am, and I don't want to fully take on someone else's identity. I don't want to lose my identity. But surely, before you get married, you know that you've chosen the person that you trust to cover you and carry you, and you should be proud to take on your husband's name. Let that name go. Let what's old and past in the past go in the past, and let what's coming to you come to you in the new. So you don't, you got to let go of what was and move into what is. Otherwise, you'll constantly always be looking back and attached to things that really you don't even need to be anymore. So Amina said, you give it up, give it up, give it up. I know that's right, girl. She said, you give it up unless you have made a name for yourself, like Dr. So-and-so. Okay, girl, okay. Now, question though, now that we on the topic of that, so I was doing a little research in name changes, people keeping their names in divorce, people adding names in marriage, or not taking on their spouse's name at all. And you will not believe what I found. Now, this might blow y'all away. Y'all might have known this, but I didn't know anything about it. Did y'all know that there are men out in these streets taking their wives' name? Somebody please comment if this is something that they knew, and I'm just missing something in the whole workings of it all. I had no idea that this millennial attitude, the evolution that we've moved towards now, is people actually taking men now, taking on their wives' names. And some of the reasoning that they were doing it was because of just what you just mentioned, Amina. They did it because their wife had a name, and so they decided to take on their wives' names over their own. I got questions, y'all. I'm talking about questions after questions, because I'm questioning the man that I'm marrying, why he would even want my name. First of all, so Krista, you say, I hyphenated my name and I have been married for 21 years. I kept it because of my personal reasons. I say, if you both are okay with it, then why not? Well, historically, there was, I wouldn't say there wasn't an option but all women took the surname of their husband. Some of it was attached to inheritances, deities. There was some legalism attached to it. Let me see. I put up a couple things, made a couple notes about. So in the early medieval England time, most people were only known by one name. This is something I didn't know. But in the medieval time, they were known by common names like Thomas, Anne, things like that. And that name was conferred to them after baptism. Well, now you got a whole community full of people that have all of the same name. And so over the course of time, things evolved. And then the 9th century English common law, they began to establish legalities based around a name, right? So the name was connected to personal property, families, marriage, and it was under the doctrine of coverture. So coverture is coverture. So women were considered one with their husband, and everything and all the property and everything that he possessed and everything that he had. Once he got connected and they became married, then the legalities and all of everything that man was connected or attached to legally became available to the wife, right? But it was only under his name. So there were coverture laws. I'm gonna say it again, COVERTURE. If you get a chance, you can look it up. So there was coverture laws, and basically, just as it states in the prefix of the word, cover means to be covered by. So the assumption was the woman, which had no independent legal identity back then. There was no independence, right? No legal identity that was attached to their own name. So once they became married, everything and all the property and all the things that the gentleman had, they assumed their name, and therefore they assumed legal ownership over and or with their husband or their spouse. So this even dates back to the birth of females before the time that we live in now, right? So every female child that was born was automatically given their father's name until they were married. So historically, there is some history to why we even accepted our spouses' names and how this even came about. So there was actually a feminist uprising in the 1970s. Actually, no, it was in the mid 1800s. And in this time, women were not allowed to legally obtain anything without being connected to their husband or their husband's name, right? So this just over time evolved. And in the 70s, the U.S. Supreme Court, there was a Tennessee law that was not abolished, but called to the court because there was a woman that was trying to register to vote. She was not able to register to vote because she had not assumed the last name of her husband. So they, kind of brought that to the forefront, kind of began to look at a few things and say, this isn't really law. We can't command. We can't command women to give up their name. So we can't make it a law per se, and we can't keep them from receiving the rightful things that they are owed or may have helped their husband to obtain in marriage because they didn't assume the name. So fortunately, it hasn't become a law, and we can still make the decision whether or not we want to assume the name or not. So there's a lot of people that have just joined on. So I'm going to say hey to a few people. Mark, looks like Kevin and April. How are you guys doing? Thank you for joining. Thank you for hooking up with me and checking me out. I want y'all to go and make sure you check out Flawed and Free. Check out my podcast. It's going to be, oh my God, it's amazing. I can't wait. I got an episode coming up with the conversion, Kanye West conversion to Christianity. There's another episode that's coming for women, should married women have single friends. So it's some great things coming. But I just want to introduce y'all to me, Tina, your number one hope dealer in Texas. I'm the biggest, the greatest, and the best you'll ever meet. I'm your number one hope dealer. And every time I come to you, I'm going to come to you with words of wisdom, and I'm going to come to you with the word. That's what we serving up today, because we're servants first, right? So as a servant and as a hope dealer, I'm here to bring y'all the word and wisdom. My podcast is a platform that is used to help people in the process of birthing their purpose and birthing their promise into the world. And we're going to meet you right where you at. So pay attention as this live stream moves on, because whenever y'all hear me say, knock, knock, bang, bang, where the cash at? I want you to put your cash app in the comment section with the answer of the thing in which I'm asking. The first person that puts their name in quickly and correctly will get a cash app from me. That's what's up. So pay attention, because I'm going to ask y'all a couple of questions and see where y'all at. I want y'all to engage and give me your opinion and your thoughts on taking ownership of a name and releasing ownership of a name. When you divorce, should you give up your married name or should you not? I so happen to be divorced, and I still have my married name, but it was solely, y'all hear me? Solely for administrative purposes. So I moved to Texas, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to look into getting, taking my maiden name back, because I'm moving forward in life. I don't want to be attached to nothing that might be trying to hold itself to me. Let me check. Let me see. Maybe I'll open myself up. Man, I called the state of Texas, and they wanted 10 years worth of driver's license. 10 years worth of driver's license, a bunch of paperwork, $200 some. I said, well, dog, I should have done this when I got divorced. If the timing had been any different, I would be Johnson and not Jaliba. So my name is spelled Jalieba, and that's until my new blessing comes along. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing? Hey, John, Tavares, looks like Anthony. Hey, y'all. Hi, Karina. How y'all doing? I'm glad y'all joined me. So tonight we just kind of talking about name changes, titles. That first podcast, if you go to Flawed and Free, I'm on all of the streaming platforms. Not all, but many of the major ones. So I'm on Apple, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud. There's a whole list. So you can go check out Flawed and Free, theflawedandfree.com, and you can link in there and check me out and listen to the first introduction podcast. The first introduction is talking about names and titles, and the title is Everybody's Got a Title, but what is your name? So it's about identity, basically, and who you're created to be. And do we lead with our title or do we lead with our name? And what do our names tell us about ourselves? And so your name should reveal who you are by character. If you're careful in picking a name for your children, and you're careful about what you speak into your life and what you speak into existence, then you know that it's important. You can mark a child, you can mark a thing just by the name that you give it. I had a hard time coming up with the name for my podcast, Flawed and Free, because I knew I wanted it to be a deliverance sort of podcast. I knew I wanted to, but not exactly, but close to. I knew I wanted to free people from the bondage of perfectionism. It's an area of my life that I've struggled with myself. And as I've grown and as I continue to grow, I still have to kind of look at certain areas of my life and areas that I look at that I would like to grow and mature. And sometimes we think that we can't move out of the space that we're in until things is just right. Till you got just enough money, just enough, knowledge, just enough, the timing is just right. Like everything gotta be perfect. And that's not true. That's not true. Y'all, everybody, including myself, I was one of those that delayed myself in time and delayed a lot of things that I could have been doing out of fear for, can I do this? Can I live up? Social media doesn't help. The spirit of comparison, boy, you can be looking and scrolling through Facebook and feel like I'm a failure at life. God forbid that you don't, but you could be looking like, you know what, this person got this business, this person got this book, this person got, what am I doing with myself? What am I doing with life? You got to do what you called to do. You got to do what God has called you to do. My blessing and my time might not be the same as yours. And what God has gifted me with might not be what God has gifted you with. And so my goal is to help people transition into that, and identify themselves right where they are, right in the space that they're in. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to have a bunch of degrees. You don't have to be any of that. You can be whatever God has called you to right in the place. God called some people in scripture we could probably look back and say, why did he pick him as one of his disciples? Why did he pick this person? How could this be? How could he trust this in this person or that person? Because they wasn't walking an upright life or a straight life or so how could God be calling me? He can. He can. It's called self-reflection, growth, evolution, maturity. There's a whole lot of names that we can attach to this. But truth be told, you don't need to have the latest and the greatest and the best of everything in order to walk into your purpose. So, that's going to be the underlying conversation. That's going to be the main thing that we need to get across to everybody. This podcast that I started literally came into my mind in a vision in my mind one day. And I thought to myself, I do not know how to start a podcast. I have no idea where to begin, where to start, how to do it. Do I have the money to do it? I had no idea. But literally through prayer and just reaching out, stepping out on faith, look, y'all see it. It's here. It's here. I'm on 5+ platforms. I'm on Apple, Google, Spotify, all of that. So God is good. He's good, and he loves us all, and he will cover you, and he will carry you, and he will take you to your next position and your next place if you just give yourself the time and the opportunity and see your worth right where you are, and know that yes, it might be a path, it might be a journey, yes, it might take you some time, but it is absolutely, completely, utterly, and totally possible. So knock knock, bang bang, where the Cash App? I'm getting ready to give y'all a question. First person that can tell me what my last name is and spell it correctly. I got a Cash App coming your way. Who is gonna be? Who is gonna be? Who is gonna be? Make sure you put your Cash App in. You gotta get my last name, and you gotta spell it correctly. This shouldn't be hard for some of you. Some of you might opt out of this that know me personally. Just to be fair to those that don't. Just to be fair. Who is it? Who is it? Oh, I don't see nobody. Ain't nobody got no Cash Apps out there? I know y'all do. I see my timeline full of it. Full of it. Oh, looks like we got Krista. Wait a minute. That might not be Krista. It shot up so fast. Okay, so looks like it's Tanisha. Tanisha, you are our first winner. Let's see, TJ. Let me get you going, sister. Because I'm sending it right now. Looks like TJ. Y'all gotta forgive me. I'm blind as I don't know what. I wear contacts. There you go, baby girl. I got you. Tanisha made it first, but no worries. There's gonna be a couple more opportunities for you guys to win. Okay. So, back to our conversation about names, titles, taking on your married name, or leaving it back. So let's talk a little bit about these men taking these wives' names. These men taking these wives' names. Lanaya! Y'all excuse me. I got her device that I'm trying to make this thing on so I can still talk to y'all and send y'all coins at the same time. So let's talk about these men taking these women's name. So what y'all thinking about that? Because some of the articles that I looked up for men changing their name to their spouse's name, one reason they said was support and commitment. So they were saying that some men felt like they were able to show their support for their spouse and their commitment to their wife by taking her last name. And I said, that's interesting. And also they said that it was mostly when the wife was the main provider. Like the wife was the main provider, or they were dominant in position. So their dominance and or their wives being the providers, somewhere in their minds felt like it'd be a good idea to take on their wife's name. I've never seen it. I never heard it. I'm still waiting on one of y'all to chime in and let me know. I'm gonna scroll up just in case I'd have missed it. To let me know. you hear me scream my daughter's name? She don't even hear me, cause she's in her room. I might have to send it when I'm done, cause I don't have my phone. I'm actually on it through the video, and I need one of them to come in here and help me so I can get this going. Anyway, so another reason was equal opportunities, right? So we live in a state in a state right now where people are about equal rights, women's rights, men's rights, and all of this other stuff. So these men opted for their wife's name versus their wife taking on their name for equal opportunity. I don't know if it'll ever be equal. I don't believe that. I believe people try, but I don't know if we'll ever meet the place of full equality like we want to. Also, another reason that men were taking on their wives' names were because their wife name sounded better. Their wife name sounded better. So they decided, I'm gonna get my name up because my wife's name is better than my name. So I'm gonna jump on board with that. Another thing that I saw was family acceptance. So there were some men that did not have a relationship with their father, and because they didn't have a relationship with their father, they didn't want their father's surname. So when they got married, or they decided to engage and become married to their spouse, their female spouse, they decided to let their name go and to accept their wife's name. I mean, these are some interesting reasons. I would have never guessed why a person would do that, but I guess it works for them. And then one last thing that I saw why men were taking on their wives' names was for branding reasons. So my assumption would be, I mean, like maybe Beyonce or Jay-Z, they both had their own names. But if I can recall, I'm a Beyonce fan. I do like Beyonce. She didn't take Jay-Z's name, or did she take? Maybe I should have looked to see for sure. But I know she referenced herself as Mrs. Cole. Did she take on his name completely and totally legally? I don't know. That I don't know. So I just thought that was, fairly interesting. So knock knock, bang bang, where the cash app? Here come another question. What is the title name to my first introduction podcast? The first person that enters the name of my first podcast will get a cash app. We already got, and while I'm waiting to see who has the answer to that, I'm gonna see if I can find my daughter. Lily! See who I can find in my house to get my child. Y'all excuse me. But we full of transparency up in here. Do me a favor. See if Lanaya can get me. I tell her to come here. I need her. Thank you, baby. She don't hear me. I'm calling her name out like Miss Ghetto Ratchet.
She in the shower.
Is she?
Yeah.
I need it pretty quickly. See if you can get her. Oh, there she is. Come here, baby. So who got it? Larissa, you close. Larissa. I need the name of the first podcast. The title. I need you to write it down, baby.
Write what down?
he sending it to?
No, it wouldn't. The pen, excuse me, y'all. The pen, I don't know it every time I try to because it's not on my thing. Your pen, your 4-digit.
Who's it going to?
It's several people that it's going to. I need you to give it to me. Oh, I just lost it now. I've been waiting for a whole hour for you to come and there it is. Give me 1 second, y'all. Oh, you got this. See, I didn't know it was set up like that. Fingerprint ID. What are we going to do without it? Okay, so Larissa, you close. What's the name of the podcast? Come on, y'all. Have y'all went and checked it out yet? I'll give y'all a hint. If you go to the website, to www.flawedandfree.com, it didn't go.
Mm-mm. It says something about my bank account.
Yeah, but I thought it was going to take it.
Do you need a pen?
Now do it. What you say?
Maybe.
Yeah, thank you. So I guess nobody knows that one. Somebody gotta know it on here. The title of the first introduction podcast. You know what? Y'all done hurt my feelings. I ain't gonna let y'all go on this one. I ain't
I know
gonna.
it. Do I get $5?
Huh?
I know it. Do I get $5?
No.
Okay.
You can't. You can't get it.
Let me go tell Jasmine.
Write it down on here. You didn't see the first one, Larissa? Oh, man.
It was done.
If you go to the Flawed and Free, Google it. If you go to the flawedandfree.com, write the 4-digit number down, write it down. If you go there and pull it up, you'll see it. It's right on my website. So we'll keep going. Why did you move it off of there?
I'm getting your fingerprint on my phone.
Oh, okay. So anyway, so I see a lot of people saying that they hyphenated their name. Aaron, if you got, let's see. Oh, looks like somebody finally came through. Episode 1. What is your name? No. Aaron Mitchell. Aaron's the next one. Here, go ahead. I'm going to let you. Aaron Mitchell is the winner. Wait a minute. Aaron Mitchell is the winner. So I'm going to send you your Cash App gift. Everybody's got a title, but what is your name? That is exactly the name of the first podcast. So let me write her information down here real quick. She just put it in. Here it is. It's the $ E-Money. Hey, ain't your name E-Money? Go ahead, girl. Gotta get this money, girl. It's coming your way. You sure won. Oh, Jaretta, you had it too. Everybody got a title, but what's your name? You had it too, but Erin beat you to the punch, girl. She beat you to it. Maybe next time, girl. Maybe next time you'll be ready. We got a couple more opportunities in this live broadcast for you to catch it. All right, Erin. It's already come your way, Miss Erin. Yay. So let's talk a little bit more about, Amina, you got it too, boo. You got it too. So yeah, make sure y'all check out. Everybody's got a title, but what is your name? You know, I see a lot of times where people lead with their title, right? Where they lead with the title. And so they, whether you are married or whether it's your professional title or it's your church title, whatever it is, and people hide behind titles, right? People hide behind titles and they have a false sense of authority or ownership because of the title that they have. And so they think that a sense of respect comes with the title. when that's not true. That ain't true. That ain't true. I don't know who told who that, but I'm gonna need them to go back. I'm gonna need them to come back to the drawing board. Names are really more important than titles. Names, in my opinion, unless somebody else has an alternate opinion, I'm willing to listen, and you got others here on this feed that are willing to listen. But a name truly speaks to you. A name truly speaks to your character. A name is the origin of which you come from, right? Or what you represent, right? So it's your name that leads, right? The character of yourself and the name that you've built for yourself. Your name is everything, right? A lot of people keep my name out your mouth. Don't put my name in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? There's respect that comes with that. There's disrespect that can come with that. There's a whole number of things. We put a lot of weight in names. And so our names, if chosen correctly, now some of us have gotten a little special over time with the naming of things. And I don't think we put full thought into what we name things, how important it is to appropriately name a thing, because you wanted to bear the fruit of that name. You wanted to represent the name in which it represents. You want their character to match their name. So naming is very, very, very important. And titles, not so much. Titles. You can lose a title. I can lose my title. I've gone to school. I don't know, for those of you that don't know me, I'm a medical provider. I'm a family nurse practitioner. And I've had several titles over time, right? Depending on the position, the place, time and season, state, in which I've taken on different titles. But my name is what's carried me through. My name is the reputation that I built, the work ethic that I built underneath my name to put on my resume has spoken to what I've carried many titles, but my titles don't define who I am. Your title does not define. Now, maybe some of your titles align with who you are. So some of us are evangelists or prophetess or and so some of it aligns with who God's created us to be. But some of us have carried and held titles that were nothing like who we really were. So it's important to identify and know yourself. It's important to figure out who you are. It's important to know your name. It's really, really, really important. And above all, the one main desire that we should all strive for is for God to know our name. We want him to know our name because we want our name where, y'all? In the Lamb's Book of Life, right? That's where we want our name. At this point, in this day and age, we don't care who knows our name up the street, around the corner. You might forget my name when I get off of this podcast. But at the end of the day, what we really want to know is, does he know our name? Because if he knows our name, we in good shape. There's eternal life. There's reward. There's blessings, prosperity, success that comes with him knowing who we are. Him, the Father, knowing our name. So, it's important. We don't put enough emphasis on the importance of a name. We don't. We call things, some of us have not done probably as good of a job doing that. So now we're coming up to another knock, knock, bang, bang, where the cash at? I got another one. For some of y'all that have chimed on late, I'm saying that because I'm your number one hope dealer, dealing hope, the word, and wisdom. So I'm at your door with something, and I need you to give up the cash. So what you got? My question, let me think of a good one for y'all for this one. We got titles, we got names. What is my profession? I've spoken some about my profession. You got to cash app your name and the answer to that question quickly in the comments. The first person that answers correctly gets their gift from me through their cash app. Who is gonna be? Who is gonna be? Who is gonna be? Who is gonna be? Hey. Risa said, come on, Hope Dealer. Yeah. That's what's up. Okay. Y'all gotta forgive me. I love music. I still struggle with some of my trap life. Lord forgive me. He done convicted me in a lot of ways in my life, but he's still working on that one. But we all about transparency. We all about that here. We keeping it real 100. No fakes, no frauds, no facades. That we don't have time for. So, Elanda, you ain't going to be giving the wrong names. The wrong professions. Yes, let's see. Who's the first one? I got to make sure I get the right person for their cash app. Let's see. Da. It is Natalia McNeil. Natalia McNeil, you are the winner, girl. You are the winner. Let's see. Let me get your cash app here. T. Wow. You've been paying attention, young lady. I sure appreciate you out in these streets. Y'all some good listeners. Okay. Let me go on and send that to you real quick. Miss Talia, I hope I said your name right. If I didn't say your name right, forgive me. We talking about names, isn't that something? And if I didn't say it right, please forgive me. Forgive me. All right, Talia. This thing moving a little slow. Oh, it didn't take it. Hold on. Lily, have Lanaya come back here, please. This whole dual device deal, I'm going to have to figure something out for my next live stream. Because my stuff takes 10 seconds on my phone. And you didn't set this up, and I thought you set up my thing on yours, but it still didn't do it. I need to give Talia her coins. Talia, you want your coins, right? Tell these devices to quit playing with you.
Well, I knew the answer for the first one, but I didn't get no money.
Look at my sis in the background. Look, she coming for me, but she ain't on the stream though. You gotta be on the stream, but she got a good reason. She got a real good reason for not being on. For real. Let me tell y'all, my sis, she done moved here from Cali. She from LA. And when I tell you that thing right there, prayer warrior, beast in the spirit, beautiful personality, but she likes to remain anonymous. She is actually the one who got me saying, knock, knock, bang, bang, where the cash at? I need to call up Cash App because we giving them some free, I don't
know why it's asking you for a pin.
Yeah, it keeps asking me. But we can't, this ain't. So Talia, I just saw that it just went through to you, so we all good. I think we'll be having, which one is that? Our second one I think that's just our second. Oh no, it's our third one. That's our third one. Yeah. So we'll be having one more. You guys will have an opportunity to get one more. You better stay close if that thing won't work without your fingerprint. So they got us all messed up in these streets these days. So back to our topic on names and titles. I'm going to scroll through here because I saw someone mentioning something. So Aaron was saying it's really difficult because men look at titles to give them clout, but it's about who God called you. but it can be hard when you're wanting affirmation or confirmation outside of God. Yes, Aaron, you better say that, girl. You better say that. First of all, you can't get no confirmation, no clarity, none of that outside of God. I mean, you can if you want to, my opinion, but will it be the right thing? Not too. I don't believe that's what the walk I'm making in life. It's not worked for me before. How do I know? Because I've done it before. How do I know? Because I don't do it anymore. So now my life is completely and totally different. So yeah, I can see where I can see, maybe not all men, but maybe where some men have used their titles to basically kind of help identify or correlate to who they are. Men are providers, men are providers, and they put a lot of stock and they put a lot of time into building their identity. And so if they lead with that and they really don't know who they are, then there may be some conflict. There may be some conflict with their identity and what their name is and who they're called to be and what they've created in their title. So it's important. I think it's important to really know both. I don't think that there's anything wrong with one or the other. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I think it's important to keep it all in perspective and be very balanced. Finding balance can be a hard thing to do, in life, because we get stretched and pulled in so many ways. And so I'm going through this list here, reading some of your comments. So Amina said, "Did you not see my answer? I'm a congratulator, but she's under me." Amina, I don't know. Did I actually miss you? And somebody else got the right. Oh, Nurse Plus. Oh, I see it. No, actually, what I was looking for was Nurse Practitioner. But you were still right. And let's see. Oh no, that was April. Nope, Natalia. She's right. She was first. She actually said it right first. Not that you guys were wrong, because you guys were right as well. But thank you for congratulating her, Mina. We sure appreciate you. So it looks like Kim said publicity. I think I missed it. Who knows what I was talking about at the time that you made mention to publicity. I think you were kind of still talking about the names, if you still on there. So a lot of women have opted for hyphenated names because they don't want to give up the old for the new. And so I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not choosing a man that I cannot completely trust to cover me 100%. This is a 100% partnership. This is 100%. There ain't no 50-50. 50-50 is divorce. So if I gotta have half and you gotta have half, then we got a problem coming out the gate. So we need to have 200 at the end of the day. Forget 100, we need 200. So therefore, I gotta have 100% of myself completely, totally, and fully. You have to have 100% of yourself completely, totally, and fully. For me, I prefer to hold all in, 10 toes down, never fold, as my sis says. 10 toes down, never fold. So people have personal reasons, and I do understand, just like I have my personal reasons for keeping my name in divorce. Mainly administrative, but my reasons nonetheless. So neither one is right or wrong. So let's just be clear in that neither decision, whether you choose to hyphenate, whether you choose not to accept your husband's name, or whether you choose to take it all in all, I don't think that any one of those decisions are wrong. I have my perception for what I think is, that I would like or that I would do, but everybody doesn't do what you do. So that's why we live in the world that we live in. We all different. We all have different opinions, and we can respect one another as such. And so that's what it is. So I got one more opportunity. So knock, knock, bang, bang. Where the cash app? Next question is, when do I download the podcast episodes? When will I be downloading podcast episodes? I gave a day. A little bit earlier. I gave a day for when I was downloading new episodes. So let's see if we got somebody who knows. Let's see. Who got it? Flawed and free. If you haven't checked me out, check me out. I'm on iTunes. I'm on Google Play. I'm on Spotify. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Flawed and free. Now my Instagram is the Flawed and free. So if you don't see it under Flawed and free, you can find me under the Flawed and free. Or you could go straight to my website and all of the links are listed. Please subscribe, click the link, share it with your friends and family. So, who's she on the phone? Share it with your friends and family and check me out. We got a lot of good episodes coming. I'm trying to tell y'all, I got a lot coming up. A lot. I'm so excited to share with y'all. So let's see if we got somebody. Yes. Let's see. We have Elanda. So Elanda is our final winner. Elanda, you gotta put your... Oh, she says she wants to donate her cash to Flawed and Free. So Elanda does not want her gift. She's donating her gift back to Flawed and Free. You better do that, sis. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. But yes, Wednesday is the day. Oh, yeah, and Krista was more specific. Yeah, she said every other Wednesday. You better listen, sis. You better take your notes, sis. She said, I'm trying to get on. I'm trying to get on. My sisters, boy, I'm trying to tell you. That's what's up. Well, let me tell y'all, I'm going to tell y'all that I appreciate all of you guys coming in, tuning in. For those of you that have had an opportunity to listen to my introduction episode, I thank you. Glory to God. All glory to God. It is Him that has gotten me here, and it is Him that is going to carry me beyond here. So as I tag out and as y'all tag yourselves out, I just want you to know that I love you. And less of me, more of you, free to be me, flawed and free. Y'all remember that. Y'all be blessed and y'all have a good one.